देवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनचालक्य चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताक स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमाचार्यपदाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिनि गौरकथाधामदाय नगरग्राम तारिणि नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 4 चैप्टर 9 टेक्स्ट
67 Mataji.
ओके थैंक यू 67।
हरे कृष्ण
आत्मा
माता जी, धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम। आत्मानं च प्रवयसम् आकलय्य विशाम्पति वनं विरक्त प्रातिष्ठद् विमृशन् आत्मनो गतिम्। After considering his advanced age and deliberating on the welfare of his spiritual self, King Uttanapada detached himself from worldly affairs and entered the forest. Purport. This is the sign of a Rajarishi. King Uttanapada was opulent and was emperor of the world, and these attachments were certainly very great. Modern politicians are not as great as kings like Maharaja Uttanapada, but because they get some political power for some days, they become so much attached to their positions that they never retire unless they are removed from their posts by cruel death or killed by some opposing political party. It is within our experience that the politicians in India do not quit their positions until death. This was not the practice in olden days, as it is evident from the behavior of King Uttanapada. Immediately after installing his worthy son Dhrumaraj on the throne, he left his home and palace. There are hundreds and thousands of instances like this, in which kings in their mature age would give up their kingdoms and go to the forest to practice austerity. Practice of austerity is the main business of human life. I'm sorry. As Maharaja Dhruva practiced austerity in his early age, his father Maharaja Uttanapada in his old age also practiced austerity in the forest. In modern days, however, it is not possible to give up one's home and go to the forest to practice austerity. But if people of all ages would take shelter of the Krishna consciousness movement and practice the simple austerities of illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, and no meat eating, and chant the Hare Krishna mantra regularly, 16 rounds. By this practical method, it would be a very easy task to get salvation from this material world. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Dhrumaraja Returns Home. So this, pardon? Did I chant the Om Ajnanatam Randasya Gyanjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah? I think I did. I remember taking shelter of Guru. Okay. So this is, some very important thing, that how people get attached to positions. Because with that position comes power, control, recognition, name, fame, all these things. And you can see this, these subtle attachments, very difficult to give up. Because the gross attachments are there. And apart from that, see, this subtle in the mind, the greatest need of the living entity, conditioned soul, is to be like Krishna. And so this is the last snare of, Maya, that she gives some position to somebody, and then they become so much, they start enjoying it, such opulence. Imagine, he was the king of the whole world, not just one country or one state or something, or just CEO of one company, but he was, of the whole world, and how much opulence and power he had. But he knew from the, see, this is Vedic culture that we learn detachment from the very beginning. If you allow attachment to grow into you, it's very difficult to extricate ourselves from that sense gratification in when you are very old. So it has to be, and that culture we see was present from the very time of childhood. Dhruv Maharaja, he practiced austerity and vairagya at a very young age. So there is no particular age only when you have to do austere. Oh, when I become 60, I will think of austerity. Now let me enjoy. No, the whole culture is that only, in the beginning, it is sacrifice. You have to do dharma in order to even enjoy this material world, because we have come here with a sense of enjoyment and so on. So, but you have to do it in a very, with a little detachment, so that when you finally, you realize that this is all simply one dream. The dream is going to end sometime. I know that. So you're aware and you're preparing yourself to wake up from the dream. This is Vedic culture. And in today's world, nobody even knows all these things. They think simply earn more money and enjoy yourself. Now, how do we come out of this? Even if you chant 16 rounds and follow the four regulative principles, these subtle desires for name, fame, glory, and position, popularity, these are, stuck in the mind like leeches. And how to get out of that is that, because there are, one thing is false ego. There's even somebody may give up, renounce their position, a worldly position, but then they might renounce that and be a sage, and still in the sage may think, see, I've got great powers, I'm so renounced, who's as great as me? Even someone great sage like Vishwamitra was not free from it, and later on, only by the good advice of Vasishta Muni, he started practicing devotional service. So we see that especially the subtle desires are very difficult to extricate, and we don't even know it is there, because externally we may be doing devotional service and we may think, I'm well situated, what is wrong with me, I am almost a pure devotee. But inside are these desires, and because of which what happens is we face problems, we face difficulties and in our relationships, and all these things happen in material life, right? That is and so now in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he emphasized he more than these gross anarthas. He started with, the how we need to make ourselves very more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, and giving all respect to others and not wanting any respect for ourselves. He started with that because that is the most difficult thing to do. And this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. And by following him, we can make very quickly progress. We can progress and feel great happiness. So for us, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it is not just detachment from gross sense gratification, but detachment even from subtle sense enjoyment and becoming a servant of Krishna. This is very exalted. This is the only when we become servants of Krishna have we any chance of going outside this universe. Till then, we are stuck here. So it starts with that. So we are trying to hone up our service attitude. Just doing service is not enough. We have to develop the mood also. How to serve in the proper mood. That is more important than actually what service you do. Because sometimes, you take, you might, some devotees might think, oh, I'll go and tell Guru Maharaj what all I've done. And in a mood of if showing off, if you go and tell him, Guru Maharaj, I did this and I did that, and so many things, he might just look over you and turn his face, and you'll think, what happened? I'm doing so many services, why he's not appreciating? But on the other hand, someone may not be doing much, but he is very humble, and he's serving Krishna very nicely without much fanfare. And Guru Maharaj may make a big thing about him and appreciate him and all that. Because why we are doing services is only to develop service attitude to Krishna. Service itself is simply Krishna's mercy. He is engaging us in that. It is not because we are so great that it's happening. Everything is His mercy. Everything. In the beginning, we don't realize that, because in the beginning, we think I'm doing everything. But gradually, we understand that everything is Krishna's mercy. He is engaging us, and so we become grateful. Krishna, thank you for engaging us in your service. So, the service mood is more important than the service itself. So, we should not judge our advancement by how much service we are doing, but we must judge our advancement by what mood we are doing. That is more. That is what is very pleasing to Krishna. For example, if you see in terms of gurus and all that, Guru Maharaj has got 70,000 devotees, disciples. And there may be some gurus, I mean, even in Vaishnava tradition, that's what Guru Maharaj said, that there are some, like Lokanath Maharaj, for example, he had only one disciple, which was that Narottam Das Thakur. Does it mean that he is useless and only Guru Maharaj is great? It is not like that. Narottam Das Thakur and all that. I mean, we know Lokanath Maharaj was so exalted. He's one of the, chief associates of the six Goswamis and all. So it is not what you do, but how you do is important. Because Krishna may engage someone doing this. It is not the numbers which matter, or how opulent it is, or how, in fact, and Vaikuntha is very, very opulent, but that is considered lower than Goloka Vrindavana. Goloka Vrindavana, they're all cowherd boys and girls. Simply they're enjoying playing, singing with Krishna. They're not doing anything much compared to maybe in the Vaikuntha, they are, arranging so many opulent things for Lord and so on. Here they're just playing with him, just eating tiffin with him and all that going on. So what are they serving? So it is not the activity per se, but in Goloka Vrindavan, what is that mood? They're only thinking of Krishna's pleasure, not their own. That's what Krishna is enjoying. The selfless mood, selflessness. That's what we're trying to cultivate. I was just reading something, about this. Somebody had said, Neem Karuvali Baba, who is, in some place in the north, Kutch, some place. Okay. He was very famous. He's not there. I mean, he's considered to be Hanumanji's avatar. And many people, even Steve Jobs, he had gone there, and he became very rich after visiting him and all that. And he is considered very powerful and all. So one foreigner, he was saying, he was being interviewed, and they asked him, what do you think is the best message that you've got from him? So he said that, see, we Westerners, we were priding ourselves like, oh, meditation and all that. And so I asked him once, how do we meditate? in what this thing, something about all that he was asking. So Neem Karoli Baba said, see, you Westerners are only thinking about yourselves all the time. Go and do seva. Think about others. Just make them happy without expecting anything in return. That is what is real spiritual advancement, not just sitting and meditating all for yourself. Of course, some people meditate in order to be purified. I mean, not meditate, mostly like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. For one full year, he chanted non-stop so that he can be very effective in spreading Krishna consciousness. So a devotee is in this mood of sacrificing, of self abnegation, or rather pleasing not for oneself but for the pleasure of Krishna. So that initially we just mentally think, okay, it's for Krishna and all that, but our minds are so attached to sense gratification, of either gross. Okay, gross we give up subtly also. We want to feel proud about our achievements, or how I'm the one who did everything. But actually, the real fact is Krishna is giving us the mercy to do everything. Everything is His mercy. He's just allowing us to do something. Initially, we think, then is it that I should not do anything? Only Krishna does? No. The thing is, actually, everything is His mercy only. But we are supposed to act as if I am responsible. That is there. Karmanyevadhikaraste. You have to do your duty. But results are not in our hands. We simply do. That is to please Krishna. Everything is done by Krishna actually. So we don't need to feel proud about anything, because what is that? It is just His mercy is making me do something. And so a devotee feels very humble. Actually, he feels very humbled to be acknowledged that he is doing something. What is this? I'm not doing anything. Krishna is making me do. And he feels very grateful and unqualified to receive so much mercy. And actually, that is why these great Vaishnavas, the Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, so exalted, we know, but they consider themselves lower than the worm and the stool. Now, that is their mood. And they're not pretending or something, showing off that I'm so humble. No, they actually felt like that. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved them so much. He always embraced them. Whereas Vallabhacharya, he is from the other sampradaya, I mean, from the Vallabha sampradaya. Now we know that. But initially, he was coming and associating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was very attracted to him. But he had a little pride in writing. He was writing commentary on Bhagavatam. And he was finding fault with Sridhar Swami, who is the original, right? I mean, he has written the commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada based most of his purports on Sridhar Swami, and also from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, like that. And he was trying to find fault in that. Actually, his understanding was faulty, it was not complete, Vallabhacharya. And he was criticizing him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not like that. And he told him also, no, you should not criticize previous acharyas. You should add to that, but you must not criticize and think you're better than them. This wanting to upstage other people and act I'm better than them, these are all polluted thinking. And we have to recognize that and remove that. So Vallabhacharya was also, and Vallabhacharya, he was very amazed by seeing, I mean, when he came and he approached Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, he wanted to go and talk to them, hug them. And Rupa and Sanatana was so humble. They said, no, we are not qualified. And they sort of, and he was withdrew from there. And he was very astonished. Why they're all like that? I mean, he couldn't understand it all, because his mindset was a little bit proud, in the mode of passion, tinging that. And that's why he didn't get full mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In fact, he kept He wanted to read out all his writings to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always used to give some excuse. No, I'm very, I cannot understand all that. I'm not qualified. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to, or I'm very busy, and he never used to listen to it. And if and so he used to go to the others like Advaita Acharya, all of them, Nityananda, and they used to think, oh, you Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said he's not going to listen. Now, how we can say, okay, come, I will listen. So they also used to give some excuse. And then the Vallabhacharya went to Gadadhar Pandit, who is very soft and he's staying in one place. He's forcibly said, you have to listen. And he's made himself like that. So this is, the dominating thing that I am very good and everyone, I'm better than even Sridhar Swami. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him this is not the proper mood at all. But he was not ready to listen. That tapasya, whenever we see, there are so many things because we've been here in this material world for how many lifetimes. So we have developed a lot of desires and they're all added into our mind. And we don't know which desire will pop up when. And our duty is to recognize that and pull it out and say, no, Krishna, I want to be das and das of you, which is what will give me greatest pleasure and happiness and all kinds of perfections, all siddhis. Everything is there with the pure devotee who becomes a servant of Krishna. A servant of Krishna is as almost as opulent as the Lord by the Lord's mercy. Not that he competes, oh, now you and I are same, Krishna. I can also do. No. Always, by Krishna's mercy, only everything happens. But by the mercy of Krishna, he likes to see that his servants are as, you know, he likes to see them all doing wonderful things. He wants to make them also great and opulent and powerful and all this. But what is the mood of the servants? They always like to be a servant only. Right from Nityananda Prabhu. No pride at all. Abhimane shunya nitai. That zero pride. Even though he's as good as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he has no pride that I am also one Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Never. Always das and udas and udas and udas. That is the mood of our Vaishnavism, so exalted. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only one who's teaching us. This is the ultimate, ultimate goal of spiritual perfection is to become das and udas and udas and udas. Of course, all Vaishnava acharyas are teaching that. Even Ramanujacharya gave a lot of importance to service, service and worship of the Guru. Definitely, he also has said that, and all four Vaishnava sampradayas are based on this. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it the topmost instruction. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. Not even followers. Mama janmani ishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetu ki tvai. Costless devotion to you, that's all I want. That is the only thing he is mentioned in the Shikshashtakam. I mean, the one which speaks about our mood. Only that. What tapasya we need to do? Develop the service mode. That's all. After that, he's saying one after the other, what are all the, uh, you know, progress we will make, feeling great separation from the Lord or feeling oneself as the tiny, this thing, dust at the lotus feet of the Lord, ecstatic feelings. This is what produces ecstasy. As long as we are proud about something, other subtle or gross. Gross things, okay, maybe we're not no longer proud that I've got a big car and I've got a big house and I've got this and I've got that, or I'm very good looking, all these things. Maybe okay, these are gross. What about subtle? I'm the best devotee. I'm doing so many things. See, who's as good as me? That can also enter. And it is like a pot of poison, and we have to recognize and throw them out. And so, this how do we develop that? Alone, if you sit in the house, how you will develop? Only mentally you will think, yeah, I'm very yeah, I am really the dust of everybody's lotus feet. We may think mentally. We may also have an intention to think like that. But the minute we come along with other people, then, we feel puffed up. No, no, no. Why? Everyone should respect me. I am such a great devotee. I'm very senior. All these thoughts come. So, we have to get purified in a gradual way, and only with that is why sadhu sangha, very, very important, because in that, when we associate with devotees, that is when we can recognize our anarthas. And devotees are very compassionate. Nobody holds anybody holds grudge against anyone. Why that devotee is so proud? They only think that what to do, that's maya. And if the devotee recognizes and says, please forgive me, please help me to be a nice servant, then they'll go out of the way. Everybody will be so happy to bless and happy to help this devotee overcome whatever anartha they may have. This is Vaishnav society, where everyone's heart is like waiting to melt, like, because out of kindness, out of love, to help one another, because we all want to please. We are all Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's servants, and we want to please him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is more pleased when we help others. Only about myself, I should be a nice, pure devotee. I don't care what happens to others. Why should I? This is not my responsibility. No, that is very, very, that's again selfishness. But if we can, if our heart is moved by others suffering, and so-called enjoyment, or they're thinking I'm the greatest, what? It's just in the mind. When we think we are very great, who is thinking? I am thinking, and it's in my mind. Is it a fact? No, it doesn't seem to be a fact. No one else is thinking like that about me. I am only thinking in my mind, I am great, I am great, I'm the greatest. So, what is the use of such illusory things? My false ego is making me think that I want to be the best. Like Ravana. Ravana had many, many good qualities. He was so very, what do you call, really efficient. None of the others, who were the other disciples of Shiva, Nandi, he was very slow because, externally, Nandi is an expansion of Vishnu actually. But, and he's a cow, a bull. So very, very sattva guna and all that. But he was very slow being a bull. He's not very fast. And then who are the other disciples? All ghosts and spirits and all these bhutas, pretas. And among all them, Ravana, who's, he is very, very intelligent, very talented, very powerful, knowledgeable. So he, felt very, very proud. And once Shiva had praised him also because he did something by which Shiva was very, very pleased. And no, he told him something. He glorified him. So that went into his
Vena,
head.
Vena Mataji, Vena with his interest
What?
and no, he does that compose the Sangeeta Mataji. Vena.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, that is when he was lifting the Kailas, na? His hand got
Kailas, so that
crushed and
time
then he
he has
glorified.
taken out his
Yeah, that
interest
is also
that
wonderful.
thing.
Yeah, that is also wonderful. No, even before that, I think when he got his pass, anyway, Shiva also liked, because his devotion to Shiva was a lot. But then he became proud, and he was insulting all the other disciples, the Nandi and all the Bhutas, Pretas. The Bhutas, Pretas, they're not ordinary Bhuta, Pretas. They're purified Bhuta, Pretas because they adore Shiva and they're always serving him. So you must respect them. They're not these ordinary evil bhutas, pretas who are hanging around in the material world. These are purified ones. We got the mercy of Lord Shiva. So you must respect them. But he thought, I am the greatest. And that is why we know what happened to him. And then so we have, he thought, so thinking yourself the best disciple is also not pleasing to the Lord. Shiva was not happy with him. He was very happy with all those humble souls who were trying to serve him. But whatever you may do with pride, if you do, it's like, you can't taste that. There is no sweetness in it. There's sweetness in our, that's why Prabhupada said, you're all pure devotees because you're all mangoes, but some are raw and some are ripe. A raw mango, how much can you eat? Can you eat sour mangoes? Maybe you can make chutney adding other things. But then raw mango, very sour, you can't eat. But ripe mango, oh, very nice. We really enjoy as many as we can eat a lot of sweet mangoes. So Krishna wants to taste the sweetness of our love for him, which is so self-sacrificing. Never a thought. This is our original self. The nature of the soul is to be totally selfless, always thinking about the welfare of Krishna, welfare of all his devotees, welfare of everybody other than oneself. And then who will take care of ourselves? Krishna himself. But the devotee is not concerned about that. This is the nature of the Atma. So the more that we are selfish, that means we are still very much grounded. We are still very much in the bodily concept of life. And we need a fast track method to come out of this selfishness, the last snares of subtle selfishness. Gross things, okay, we don't want to harm any animals, so we don't eat, no meat eating and all these things. And we chant Hare Krishna, begging the Lord. But the chanting Hare Krishna will give all complete perfection. But as we are progressing, we also have to remove the weeds which grow along with the creeper of bhakti. That is the thing. We are watering bhakti, okay, creeper, and it's growing. And just like in gardening, we know along with the nice plants and trees, weeds are also growing. Now, if you allow the weeds to continue, then what will happen? Weeds grow faster than the actual things. And they take all the nutrients and water. They're very more dominating, they take everything. And then the real plant will become very weak and dry up. So the same thing with bhakti. Bhakti is very, very, very refined, very refined. And then all these desires for sense gratification are like the weeds which are very strong. And if you don't pluck them out, so in gardening, we have to keep on plucking out the weeds and throwing them away. And in the same way, in bhakti, we have to, it is very painful if you allow the desires to grow deep, have nice roots, very painful to pull them out. That is why we have to pull them out in the beginning only. Such any thoughts come in our mind, which is for sense gratification, of a dominating or attachment to something, wanting to become independent, wanting to show off, wanting to be powerful and positions, and I want this and I want that. That may appear in the mind, and we should recognize no, no, no. This is a weed, and I have to remove it. How do we remove it? By, first of all, we recognize it and we have desire to remove it. It's 50% job done. The remaining 50% is to appeal to Krishna. Please, Krishna, I really want to be your servant, your pure servant. I don't want to be dominating and wanting to be enjoy Lord. I don't want to be a Lord. I don't want the Swami Pan Bhav. I want to be a Das. So we appeal to him and we try to do everything in a service mood along with devotees. That is why Sadhu Sangha is so important. If you do alone, then what happens? Nicely, the pride will take deep roots. We may be enjoying. See, who's as great as me? I'm the best. But afterwards, to remove, very painful. But we have to remove if we want bhakti to grow. That's why if you allow the weeds to grow, then slowly, we lose taste in chanting, dancing, glorifying Krishna. All the sevas that we are doing will become very tasteless, and afterwards only the weed will be very strong and the real bhakti taste will die out. So we have to watch out on that. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, one thing is, nobody, once you do bhakti, surely you'll keep progressing. But two things you have to watch out. One is the anartha, aparad to Vaishnavas. Second is the weeds which grow. You have to pluck them out. Otherwise, it can hamper your bhakti lata. And then in the Bhakti Vriksha, from the very beginning, it is, it's all about giving out love, mercy to others, less and less about ourselves. And it's such a beautiful program that we try to empower. Actually, I've heard comments from some senior devotees who were not yet, they were not at that time aware of Bhakti Vriksha. And when they came across the Bhakti Vriksha, what their comments were. One senior Vaishnava. So he said that he attended one Siksha program and he said, it's so wonderful that you are feeling so happy at the advancement of other people and you're glorifying them. Oh, your Prabhupada Ashray, your Krishna Sadhak, Krishna Sevak, and you glorify them, you talk about them, and everybody prays for their continued spiritual growth. This is very good, because you are not only thinking about I must progress, my family must progress, but you're taking happiness and joy in the progress of other people. So that is one very good thing he said. The other one is very senior devotee also, and he said that Bhakti Vriksha is the only one which is creating leaders, because that is, we are empowering other people. And that is a lot of sacrifice, because what happens is most people are afraid to empower others. Why? Because it is human tendency. The minute you train and you empower, and then they become big, then they'll put their hand on your head only and climb over it and push, or they want to become independent, or they want their own. They don't want to continue connect. They want to rise above you and say that I'm now the greatest. This is human tendency. Everybody is afraid for their positions. Nobody tries to empower another person. Even in devotional service, you see, where does very few, the guru empowers is a guru because he's fully selfless. He is very happy if his disciples also do very wonderful things. He takes great pleasure. It's like a father feeling proud of his children. If they outshine him also, he is very happy. See, my son or daughter, they have done this. And he feels that, he feels a sense of happiness. So in the Bhakti Vriksha, from the very beginning, because this is what our goal is, to become completely selfless and free from all envy. Is envy which makes us want to outshine others. I want to be the only one. Nobody else as great as me. Ravana said, what? Nabhuto na bhavishyati. What is that? Nobody like me. Neither now nor in the future will there be anyone as great as me. So this is asuric tendency, materialistic tendency, and it is in the mind. And we have to recognize that I don't want to be an asura. I want to be dasanu, dasanu, das. Even Yamuna Mataji, she she shared that, because Prabhupada had taught her many, many nice recipes. And she used to cook them for Prabhupada. So once he asked, there were two Matajis assisting her, and they also came, and they were serving. So Prabhupada asked Yamuna Devi, Have you taught all these recipes to these Matajis also? And Yamuna Mataji was quiet, and these two Matajis, they said, no, Prabhupada, she didn't teach us. Prabhupada said, see, you must teach, only then you'll become free from envy. So at that time, she couldn't fully understand the purport of this. What is it that you will become free from envy by teaching others? Because what is this envy between people? Envy means I'm the greatest, you will not be greater than me. That is something these people with false ego can never tolerate. Someone better than them in anything. Then they feel very, very agitated. How they can be better than me? No, no. Then they'll try to find some fault to pull them down. Ah, but he is like this, so he is no use. I'm greater than him. So that envy, it is because of envy. Why should we compete? The competition is actually with Krishna. That is the original point. Because we are not enjoyers, we are not the doers, we are not the possessor of anything. Krishna only. Ekala Ishvara Krishna. Our Sabha Bhritya. We don't want to be Bhritya. We also want to be another Ishvara. So all of us are trying to be Ishwaras. We'll be envious. Oh, you are a bigger Ishvara or what? Eko Adam na Dvitiyo. Ah, okay. What is that? Ravana's big quotation. Eko Adam na dvitiyo na bhuto na bhavishyati. Eko Adam. Aham or Adam?
Mataji, aham. It says eko aham dutiyo
Aham.
nasti.
Aham. Yeah.
Eko aham
Eko
dutiyo
Aham.
nasti.
I'm the. Pardon?
Yes, Mataji. It says eko aham dutiyo nasti na bhuto na
Huh.
bhavishyati.
Huh.
Yes,
Oh,
Mataji.
I'm the only one. There is no one else. No second person like me. Na bhuta, na bhavishyati. Not now, not in the future. So this is the mood. We feel very frustrated if somebody else is more than me. Ooh, I cannot tolerate. That is false ego. But we have to overcome that. Vaishnavas don't feel any such this thing, pure Vaishnavas. They feel very happy. Like we see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will glorify, give extraordinary mercy to some devotee, and all other Vaishnavas, they would feel so happy that to see that Vaishnavas getting special mercy. They would all rejoice because actually, in the spiritual position, we're all connected. We feel we are one. And if you are happy, I'm also happy. And if you're sad, it makes me sad. But in material life, it's not like that. If you're sad, I'm very happy, very good, you suffer. And if you're happy, I'm very sad. Oh, envy. Why I'm not too happy. So this is material world. And we are trying to come out of that consciousness to become Vaikunta people, happy, jolly, happy, always being blessed by the Lord. When we are in that Vaikunta consciousness, no suffering at all. Absolutely not. Even in material world, some suffering comes also. Meditate on the Lord, suffering disappears. That is a fact. Even Brahma and Shiva do that because it's this material world is so complicated, very, very complicated. And even Brahma and Shiva fox sometimes how to solve the problem. But they immediately go to Vishnu, meditate on him, and Vishnu removes whatever problem there is. So he personally comes also. Somehow we will see that problem is solved. So that is what we are always meant to be at the lotus feet of the Lord as a humble servant. This is what we are training ourselves. And the Bhakti Vriksha, first, from the very beginning, leader is servant leader. Not that, oh, now I've become a leader. Oh, see, so many people are looking up to me. I'm giving class and I'm instructing them and I'm giving them siksha and all. I have become a siksha guru. I'm now. So if you start thinking like that, danger. The minute the thoughts, such thoughts come, very dangerous. Should say, I'm simply a servant leader. Das Anudas. That's why we don't even put Vyasasana and all. Bhakti Vriksha is not leader sitting on the Vyasasana and everyone. Because we are training people to develop this mood of das. That is very glorious. We become exalted only when we develop mood of das. And so we sit there and we are really working for the betterment of all those members. We have to inquire about their progress. We feel happiness when they start progressing in their spiritual life, all that we do, and their sorrows, we listen to all their things and guide them as much as we can. But also, we know that we are not complete. We don't have all the answers. So we are always in touch with our seniors. That also, see, Bhakti Vriksha cuts out um, all the loopholes for pride to enter, for Maya to enter. So first is we are doing as a das and not as a big guru over there, and then we report to our seniors, we take their guidance, we invite them. We should invite. If you have the right mood, your Bhakti Vriksha will super Bhakti Latha will grow like anything. This is the thing. With Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the only mantra. Sometimes we'll be hanging around with pride and we'll wonder why nothing is happening. I'm doing and doing and doing. Nothing is happening. We'll sit and cry, or we'll say, Bhakti Vriksha doesn't work, yaar. I tried so much. No. What will make the Bhakti Vriksha work are all these finer things. Initially, we may get a success because we are very this or very that, and I have a lot of friends, and I'm very good and talented, and I can speak so nicely, and everybody likes me. That is all only in the beginning. If you want it to flourish and grow, we have to drop one by one all those ahankar. For one very nice devotee, very sincere devotee, but he had little pride. So what happened? First time he did Bhakti Vriksha, very nice. He's very good speaker and all that. And then he got a big group. They were all progressing very nicely, and he must have felt a lot of pride in his mind. So what happened? One by one, suddenly, by mystically, all of them left. And he was left with no Bhakti Vriksha member. And then again he started. Again another Bhakti Vriksha. Again, very successful. But I think something happened. I don't know. Again, that ahankar, I did see whose Bhakti Vriksha is as good as mine. I'm the best. And then what happened? Something, either they left him or they fell down. Something happened again, second time. Then third time, very humbly he started. Then, of course, is a super leader, no problem. But that pride, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will never tolerate pride. That is one thing he will never tolerate. He can tolerate if you have some weakness. Oh, sorry, Lord Chaitanya. By mistake, I ate onion garlic or I just smoked a little. Those are all okay. Okay, I'll give you mercy. Get over it. But if you have pride, then he will turn away his face until we pull out that anartha and say, no, Krishna. Guru Maharaj is like that. Why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Guru Maharaj is like that. You go and try to show off to him, or he suspects that you have some pride in your mind, finished. He won't even look at you. And you go very humbly. Gurudev, all by your mercy and all Vaishnavas' mercy, you glorify all the Vaishnavas who helped you. By their mercy, Guru Maharaj, these souls have come to your lotus feet. If you just very humbly present it, Guru Maharaj will mentally take you and put you on his lap. That is how he is judging. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood. So, in the system of Bhakti Vriksha, we have all these things that we are caring for them, and then we are reporting. That's very important. Then this pride, where will it flourish? You're always reporting to a senior. We never become proud that I am something, one standalone special devotee, and all others are all useless. I'm one great superhero. That mood will go away. And instead, you'll start enjoying so much happiness that I'm made as an instrument in this beautiful mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's. And you'll get more and more and more and more empowerment, but you will always pass it on to everyone above you, and you'll feel blissful and become the favorite of Lord Chaitanya, Guru and Gauranga. So this is that. So we always have the system, the parampara, the, it is not like a not like a material parampara where everyone is trying to, hierarchy in the office. You go to your boss and the boss reports to his boss and that boss other reports to other boss and everyone is trying to control it. It's not like that. It is everybody is more das anudas. The higher you are, the more you feel I am useless. I'm just a servant and done simply out of love and just wanting to please the Lord. So it is very nice to surrender, very happy to surrender to such people who don't want to trouble you, crush you, nothing. They want to help you to elevate. So that mood is in there in the Bhakti Vriksha system because the aim is what? Simply not that who will be the best Bhakti Vriksha person. I have maximum number, so I know I'm going back to Godhead. No, we have to become the what is the center of our service? It is the people. We are concerned that people should get Krishna consciousness. Yeah, not that I have to prove it's my service. I did it. I'm the greatest. Who cares? You're not going back to Godhead. If you have that kind of attitude, stay here. You want followers? Go on taking birth after birth and enjoying thinking. But somewhere one pinch will come. Krishna is not going to. I mean, if you're a sincere devotee, Krishna can also take away. He gave everything. He can take away in a jiffy. He can do that. We have to have that in mind. Not we think this is all permanent. Nothing is permanent. One day, like I told you about that devotee, he did very nice Bhakti Vriksha and some amount of pride must have come. See, I am so good. I am a good speaker, whatever. Everything gone in a moment. 2-3 times Krishna showed him, you are not because of you, okay? It's mercy I'm giving you. Don't feel proud. He can take away everything in a moment. That is Krishna. So knowing that, we should become very, very humble. No, Baba, I'm not going to challenge Krishna by acting independent, trying to establish myself separate from him, from Guru, or from other Vaishnavas, sticking, this distinction. That's another thing. Name, fame, position, popularity, distinction, wanting followers. All these it's a subtle weeds which we can't even see. Nobody can see it outside. Only some behavior will show us, oh, this person has got little ahankar. They are feeling like that. And we must be immediately red alert. Oh, now some very dangerous. I have to remove that. And other Vaishnavas are very tolerant. We should also understand that when we go around with this kind of mentality, then what happens? Other Vaishnavas have to suffer our behavior. We might be rude, we might show off, we might put other people down, we might criticize, we might use harsh words, we might be indifferent to other people's um, necessities, requirements, only thinking about ourselves, so many things. And actually, Vaishnavas are very, very tolerant. And in Bhakti Vriksha, we have to be tolerant also. Leader means tolerance. So we are learning how to be more tolerant than a tree, more humbler than a blade of grass. We have to be tolerant. We can't just say, this Vaishnava is very proud. Let us give them up, throw them out. That also is not okay because if we don't help, if Vaishnavas don't help one another, how we can progress? Everybody's got anarthas. And we must have the compassion. Everyone should, to somehow tolerate. Okay, they'll take some time, but we tolerate and try to inspire. And where is all this strength coming from? From Guru and Gauranga. By praying to them, we get the strength to be tolerant. And we also pray, my Lord, please reveal to these devotees so that they also progress. That's the best way they make progress. Praying. Guru Maharaj always says, you should always pray. He prays for all of us. And he said that even Bhakti Vriksha leaders, they can pray to the Lord for the progress of their members. Very powerful. That's why every time, maybe in a Bhakti Vriksha at the end of the program, we can chant 3 times for everybody's progress. Or if somebody is having some problem, Let us all chant. Oh, he's not able to get up in the morning, or he's got obstacles for coming into Krishna consciousness. Let us all chant to the Lord and pray to him that his obstacles are removed. And many times devotees say miracles. Oh, now everything is fine. So we need to keep on praying. Even these kind of things. Instead of feeling angry with somebody who's got some pride or some false ego, we should pray to the Lord, feel compassion. It is a disease. What is enjoyable in that? Somebody is having some illusion in their mind, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. Then we should feel sorry for them. Oh, they are in Maya because it's an illusory thing. There is nothing like that. Ekala Ishwara Krishna Arsab Britya. Someone, does Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, did they feel very proud that we are the we are the head of even the Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered them, go, you only start everything and all. But they were not acting like that at all. They never even thought like that. They were told to do that only because they had no such desire. They only thought themselves as the servant of everybody. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entrusted them to do this as a seva, and not to be a king and the name, oh, Rupa, we're all Rupanukas and all that. That name, fame, ooh, that is what we will think. In our conditioned state, we will envy Rupa Goswami. What? Everybody, even till today, his name is glorified. Everybody, we are supposed to be followers of him. What a wonderful position to be in. But they never thought like that. They never even dreamt like that because they had no such desire. They only wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya and their deep compassion that everyone, they couldn't tolerate to see people suffering. That was the only reason they were doing all these activities, not to glorify themselves. So we should understand that none of the acharyas or the great Vaishnavas whom we glorify so much had any notion of wanting to be glorified, or they enjoyed their success. Oh, I have preached to so many people, I'm the great. No, they didn't even think like that. That was not at all their concern. The concern was why people are suffering. I should somehow help. Somehow, if I can be made an instrument. And they felt everyone else is doing much more than me. What I'm doing, I'm stupid. So, this mode only is where we can be always happy. And when we can chant, and then we'll feel tears coming down our eyes, happiness in our heart, full of love for Krishna, full of love for all his creations. That is when we'll be truly blessed. No problems in our life, always Krishna's mercy. So we are aspiring to be like that. So always remember, because this, sorry, today I only one purport I read, and that was the last thing, but it is such a valuable thing about. But if people of all ages would take shelter of the Krishna consciousness movement and practice the simple austerities, he is talking of the four regs, and chant the Hare Krishna mantra regularly, 16 rounds, by this practical method, it would be very easy task to get salvation from this material world. So that is the principle. But there are many details of that principle, and the Bhakti Vriksha addresses them very nicely. Even with regard to Bhaktivinoda Thakur also has said that I, in the near future, I foresee that only this Namahatta program will be able to spread Krishna consciousness around the world. And his Namahatta, he called it Namahatta, but actually he was the forerunner, it is a forerunner of Bhakti Vriksha. He had a hierarchy of devotees all helping one another, cooperating together. He gave different designations, salesman, small shopkeeper, bigger shopkeeper, mall shopkeeper, like that. He had, and then the storekeeper, all these kind of things. He had, they're all cooperating together to spread holy name everywhere. So it is Bhakti Vriksha. So even for spreading Krishna consciousness around the world and for our own self-purification and advancement and being very dear to Guru and Gauranga, to really have peace of mind, happiness, love for everyone, Bhakti Vriksha will give us all. So don't try to, when there are some anarthas in our mind, what we do, we always try to find the fault outside us. We will say, that person only, because of that only all these problems are happening, not because of me. I am very good. I always want to do only my best. My dear, can we see if there is dust in our eye? Can we see the dust? Someone else has to remove the dust from our eye. We cannot take it out. So, similarly, what is inside us, sometimes we cannot see ourselves. We have to ask, can you please tell me what is that anartha I have? If we don't know, if we really don't know, or we want to confirm, we can ask, please tell me. I wish to remove it. And I'm ready to do whatever. And however, it doesn't matter how senior you are. Ramanujacharya was very strict with his topmost sannyasi. No, one was sannyasi, one was Kuresha, and what was the other one? Maha something. He is a sannyasi. The Kuresha is a grasta. Kuresha was a
Dasarathi Mataji. Dasarathi Mataji.
Yes, thank you. So Dasharathi was a top sannyasi, topmost great pandit, and Kuresha was a very, very wealthy person who had renounced everything and come, and he was just living outside the temple and all that. And they both wanted to know, what does this Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja? They wanted commentary on that from Ramanujacharya. So he said, Dashrathi, no, for Kuresha, he said, go door to door and beg and eat for 1 year. Kuresha said, 1 year? Oh, I have so many services. How I can do that? Okay, 2 months you do. So they imagine such a wealthy person. But now he was not living in wealth here. He had distributed everything. He was living in a small cottage. But still, it must have been quite okay, comfortable. At least he was not begging and all that. But he made him do that. And Dasharathi, he made him go and act like a cook, and that too incognito. He had to do all whatever, because they won't treat him with respect or anything. They'll treat him like a regular cook or servant. He had to go and get firewood, all that, cook and clean vessels. Quietly he did. Afterwards, on its own, it got revealed that he's Dashrathi. Somebody recognized him and told Ramanujacharya. And then Ramanujacharya was happy with him, took him back, and then he explained. So you see, it doesn't matter that, oh, this is only for junior devotees, but topmost, however you are, this anartha has to be removed. And maybe they themselves didn't never realize that they have some little ahankar still left. Dashrathi must have had a little pride about his scholarship. Kuresha must have been a little bit proud about his wealth, a previous this thing. So Ramanujacharya saw it, told them, go, do that. Even for the other brahmacharis also, he removed their ankar. We know that, okay, I won't go to that Leela, but where, they saw how, whom they looked down upon, that wrestler. What is his name, Radhika? That one wrestler and his wife. So the brahmacharis were asked to go and steal jewelry from them and see their reaction. And he uh, you know, he sort of mixed up all their cowpins. And then in the morning, they were shouting and fighting with each other. You took my cowpin, you took, and they were all fighting. Ramanujacharya said, now you see how detached you are, and how detached the so-called householders whom you thought are in Maya. So he was showing everyone how to remove your anartha. So this is anartha nivritti stage, very difficult, but only when we come out of that, then we'll make rapid progress. Nishta, Ruchi, Ashakti, Bhava, and then Prema. All these things will come one after the other quite easily. It's a cakewalk, not as difficult as this anartha nivritti stage. So we should be very alert. This is not the end of it. Some kind of success is not the end of our spiritual lives. We have a long way to go. We have to remove all the anarthas. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, oh, Yashoda, someone. Mataji, you had raised your hands. You want to say something? Who is that? Yashoda, na? Who had raised their hand? Yashoda Jairam. Yes, what do you want to say?
Maybe by mistake it must have gotten this.
Acha,
Mataji,
okay.
yeah, I have, Mataji. Actually, I mean, this sometimes, for us, thank you, Mataji, very enlightening today. But how do, I mean, sometimes this anartha nivruti, taking out this thing, Mataji. I mean, because we are trying this thing, but it takes so long time, as you said, sometimes we lose the it's like initially, the devotional service is so sweet and things like that. But the anartha nivritti part, sometimes, it appears that we are losing the taste also. Because it is taking so long for us to take out these weeds and going to the next stage, which we keep reading again and again, but not experiencing that this thing.
Pillai Uranga, Billy Dasan. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Prabhu, that's correct. That is why in the Bhakti Vriksha program, we have an answer for that also by being humble and surrendered to your senior Vaishnava who has guided you, who's guiding you, and taking shelter of them and listening to them. Then your ahankar will go away very quickly. It's only because we don't like to submit ourselves to anybody's authority. That is our greatest thing. Nobody likes, everyone wants to be independent. Why I should listen? I don't need to listen. No, everybody has to listen. And so, if we are ready, if humble enough to do that, and in a Bhakti Vriksha, because if somebody has brought you up, they have some affection for you, there is a connection, there is love, there is attachment. So it is not that they won't care for you or they're not going to help you. That won't be there. So if you're really sincere, and we can go and ask them that please try to help me. I want to overcome this or whatever, or this is, like you can ask, or the other way also. The senior should also help. Maybe the junior doesn't even know they have this problem. Then the senior should very nicely tell them, see, this is the problem. This is how it is. So please, sometimes they may not listen. They might be in so much Maya that they may think you only are in Maya to see such bad things in me. You must be polluted. Whatever it is. See, when somebody is in Maya and they're very proud, they may not listen also. Then still, we should wait for the moment. I mean, it's only by helping one another we can come out. That's why Sadhu Sangha is very important. Alone, we cannot make the progress. And that's why Bhakti, we need Vaishnava Sangha is very important. If you are a jnani or a yogi, you go sit alone in the forests and Himalayas and you'll make some progress, but ultimate progress is possible only in the association of devotees. Because how do you know whether your false ego is gone or not? Only when you interact with other people. When you're alone, you may not even know whether your false ego is gone or not, because there's nobody else to test it with. And so, when you, that's why in the Sangha of Vaishnavas, gradually it will go away. And as I said, we need others' mercy. Also, we can ask for blessings. Please help me so that I really come out of my thing. And we have to cry every day. Cry every day to the Panchatattva, Guru, Gauranga, and please help me. I don't want. And Prabhupada said, pray to Lord Shiva and Shankarshana. They are the in charge of Ahankar. So if you want to get rid of Ahankar, I mean, okay, Shiva is Advaita Acharya and Sankarshana's representative is Nityananda. So in the Panchatattva also we have their representatives, and when we are praying to them, we can cry, please destroy my false ego. It's a horrible, like a snake. It is there, always biting me. I want to come out of that. So first of all, when we are chanting only every day, we should make an appeal to the Lord, and then He will pull us. He will remove one by one everything. And as we face, it's not only He might make us eat some humble pie. He might make us, somebody may give us this thing, or we may have to, some way in which our false ego is tested practically also. And we should surrender to the Lord and think, oh Krishna, I know you're trying to purify me, so I will accept it. If we accept what comes the way because of our surrender to Krishna, and we should understand Krishna is helping me to remove all the dirt. Chetu Darpana Marjanam. Yes, by chanting, dirt goes away. But for that, sometimes practically also, because it's very stubborn, it's not going. Then practically Krishna may arrange something by which our ahankar will be taken out. And so we must, Indra, we know, many times he is very proud and ahankar, and for them also, Vishnu comes and gives lot of lessons. Then only they've become okay. Oh yes, I'm not all that. Brahmaji, even he was not free from that, and he felt very remorseful, and he surrendered to the Lord, and the Lord was pleased, and he said, "Okay, don't worry, come as Haridas Thakura for purification." He had to go through that. Now he was really sincere, and he had to. Haridas Thakur means, okay, he is exalted, he's Brahmaji, but how did he live? He was born into a Muslim family and he was all alone. He didn't have any relatives, nobody. First, Hindus also thought him out, not part of them. Muslims also thought he was not part of them. He was alone and not rejected, but he accepted. And he himself, afterwards, when he was exalted, I mean, everyone realized their exalted position is, but still he kept himself always aloof. I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified. So that is the tapasya even great personalities do in order to come out of the false ego. What to speak of us? So, but I mean, Krishna will test only according to our capability. He will not put one big thing like how Brahmaji had to face, be born as a Muslim and all that. No, we are in this life only, He'll purify us. And if we are very eager to get purified, with little knocks on the head only, we'll get purified. If you're very stubborn, then Krishna has to do something big in order to knock off our false ego. But we have to become very aware about it. Because we are sincere devotees, if we are preachers and all that, definitely we want to please Guru and Gauranga. We have a lot of good qualities. And sometimes what happens, but in the Bhakti Vriksha, though all these things are there, good things, because we're dealing with people, there is also misunderstandings, and we don't like somebody because then I mean we suspect them, or we feel that they are jealous of us, whatever, so many things. Like human beings come together, so there might be some or we think this leader is giving me, always criticizing me. You may feel like that, or leader may feel this junior is so subordinate, I mean very unsubmissive, independent, always rude, whatever. So how do you solve how do you settle differences of opinion? This is true even for relationship between husband and wife, or between family members, other family members, or between communities, or whoever, or between any other two individuals or two devotees. What we should do, there has to be a third person, a neutral person who is, who's not biased. He wants only, like a judge who's only wants to settle the issue and wants them to have a good relationship. So then what you should do, you should ask, the neutral person must ask both parties to tell what are the good qualities in the other. Because sometimes when you have and when you're angry with someone, or you think they are very bad, they are not my friend, whatever, you'll only see bad qualities in them. Or if somebody tells they have some good qualities also, you won't, no. You'll find some fault and you'll only focus on that. So what we focus is that because devotees have a lot of sattva guna, they are not totally, they are not totally in illusion. So we ask them, okay, what are the good points in the other person? So then both parties will think, oh yeah, they have many good qualities also. So then they become very positive. Then we ask them, what is the goal in your relationship? I mean, what do you want to achieve? What is the primary goal that you both hold very dear to your heart? And that will be what? Krishna consciousness, to spread Krishna consciousness, to preach and to glorify Krishna and to be a very good, humble servants of our Guru Maharaj, like that. So then, okay, then automatically it will become a positive thing. Oh, yeah, we have the same goal, we can work together. Then you ask, what is it that, what problem you see that other person is creating for you? So then they can say, see, once they are in the positive mood and they think that, yes, they have some good qualities also, and we have some common goals together, then after that, you can ask, okay, what's your problem about that person? And then they may say whatever they should say, both can say. And then you ask, okay, can you help the other person to overcome that problem? Okay, that is one thing. So we just don't blame and keep quiet. We have to help also. So how are you able to help that other person to overcome whatever anartha, problem, misbehavior, whatever they're doing? So that is one thing. Then finally, how are you going to serve each other? You say in some way that you will serve that person, the other, which is important for them, and the other person also serves you. Then completely 180 degrees, it changes from one of just finding fault, not getting, all these anarthas are influencing us. From there, we go into service mode, seeing only being very positive, seeing how we have common goals, how we can work together. This is love. Prabhupada said, your love for me will be tested by how much you cooperate with one another. If your false ego is more important than Prabhupada, then don't claim that you love him. So that's what Prabhupada said, because they said, Prabhupada, we love you, we love you. Then he said, okay, but your love will be tested by how much you cooperate with one another. And that is easy in the Bhakti Vriksha, because we have to act, see, in the more, when you're preaching, you develop more mode of goodness. And only in the mode of goodness will we be idealistic, will we think less of ourselves, only in the mode of goodness. Mode of passion is all about ourselves. How I want to show the world I'm the greatest. Tamoguna, not at all interested in anything, simply, no interest only. So just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So that is so mode of goodness is when we can develop some idealism. I want to be like that. I want to be perfect. I want to have good qualities. And um, we see good in others also, and we want to progress in spiritual life. So that way, and we have more peace of mind and intelligence to understand all these spiritual truths. So this is a constant improvement that we have to make real progress in the heart, and we need the help of others, not by running away. Oh, this is very difficult. That is no solution. Wherever you go, you're running with your mind. That mind is going to torment you, whether you go right up to America, you go down somewhere down south, you're running away from devotees. I don't want this, I will be happier. But until you rectify your mind, wherever you go, you'll have the same problem. You may think I have problem with this person, I'll go to another group. There also you will have problem because your mind is there, and your mind will dictate the same things. So it is foolish to simply run from here and there. Better, the real solution is to change our mind. And that with a lot of love and affection. I'm not going to be ridiculed. Okay, You all found out I have false ego, so you're going to hate me? Then I won't feel like facing you, right? But if you love me, in spite of my faults, you love me. That is real love. Love means, what is prema? Real love means, even if there is some reason to be against them, to hate them, to reject them, still you don't. That is causeless love. That is real love. Even if maybe I behave badly and I'm, and you all know that I've got a big false ego, I'm very proud, but still you don't reject me and you're very loving and caring and, you don't reject me. Then what I will do, my heart will be very touched. They love me in spite of my faults. Then I'll want to change, isn't it? I'll feel very bad, ashamed. I've been so bad and still they love me. Then I'll want to change. That is Vaishnava community. No, it is material community. Oh, you have some bad quality. Bye. We don't need you anymore. We'll delete you from our group. That is easy to do.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, any questions or comments? It's been a long class.
Mataji, I have some questions. Maybe I will ask tomorrow because long time for you. So I've noted it. So tomorrow I'll ask.
Okay, sure. So we go for
Mataji, one question, Mataji. Mataji, when you were speaking about this bhakti and all, you were saying when we are growing in bhakti, two things need to be knocked out, or we need to be, we need to watch out. Karke. One is anarthas, and another thing, Mataji, what is that?
Aparadha, Vaishnava Aparadha.
Oh, Vaishnava. Okay, Mataji.
Mad elephant offense, no? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. One is two things we have to watch out. One is the mad elephant offense, and the other is this attachment to material things, which is the anartha or weeds.
Oh, okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay, now we go for prayers. We pray for, I don't know how his operation, anyone has news about that? Prabhu might know, he's not here, about
They sent a
his
message, Mataji.
cat.
They
Huh?
sent a message, no?
What did they say?
Hare Krishna, please accept me. 1 minute. The health update has come. 1 minute.
So we pray for his good health, well-being, longevity, protection from all diseases and speedy recovery from all illnesses, and also for good health for all his servants. And then let us chant for Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare